Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Developer Shootout. My name is Shae Scotton, and with me as always is Danny Burton.
This time we're going to be taking a look at this course's dashboard by Nicola Baldo.
Baldo?
Baldo. And in a little change, instead of going for points, we're just going to see who can accurately code it the quickest.
So when one person thinks they're done, they'll show the other, and they will give their seal of approval. First to finish wins. Here we go. In this mockup, we have a designer who has given us both a dark and a light theme. We considered having the ability to toggle between the two, but we've decided I will just build the dark theme and Danny's working on the light theme.
Yeah, so right out the bat here, we're both just trying to get, I think, our basic structure going. We both decided to go with grid this time.
Learned a little lesson last time, I think.
Yeah, and so I kind of brushed up a little bit. I'm sure that I could learn more, but it's just a pretty simple layout, so.
Are you feeling like a little bit more comfortable now, having gone through this exercise here, comfortable with your grid skills?
Yep, a little bit. You can see that I'm kind of trying to figure out the fine details on how it should be laid out. I kind of struggled here because just not realizing the way that the content worked, how sizing of each grid area worked with content within it.
But I don't think it took you too long to figure out where you're going with it and actually come back around with it. It seems like in all these videos so far, out of the gates, I've taken a bit of a lead, and then somehow you always just kind of catch up.
Yeah, I think it might be something to do with the amount of shortcuts I use.
Yeah, like
definitely
shortcuts as in editor shortcuts.
Yeah. For like Emmett, for example, I try and build as much as I can without actually building anything at all.
Yeah, I write mostly everything. In CSS, I use Emmet religiously, but in HTML, I rarely use Emmet other than just to generate a div with a class.
Really? Yeah.
I really want to brush up on my shortcuts game, like just in general, not just Emmet, but in everything. It would be so helpful, but I'm always too. It slows you down to learn it, but then it speeds you up in the long run, and I'm a little too impatient.
Yeah. You can see right there, I have that long thing, and I just cracked open a div with some.
Look at all those
URL.
Cursors.
Yeah.
And all the cursors are writing more Emmet.
Yeah.
So at this point here, I've got the logo in. You'll notice a couple things here. The logo colors aren't exactly correct. A couple of the colors here and there are not exactly correct, but they're pretty close. The one that's a little more noticeable than that, even though, is the font is quite different. I could not find this font. I have no idea what it was. I thought I found something close, but once we actually started developing, I noticed how not close it was.
Yeah, I think that near the end we actually contemplated trying to see who could find the closest font as part of it, but then just kind of, I think we just learned to live with it.
So as you can see here, I'm doing the top bar first. I'm on the far right edge now, whereas you've decided to go for the navigation on the left first.
Yeah, I think that after we finished that logo section, we kind of decided to work opposite each other.
Yeah.
I would work counterclockwise, you work clockwise, or not even that, but just
top or left.
Yeah, so that it wouldn't be just like a total race. It'd kind of be like there'd be more of a mystery to see who'd get to the end quickest, which is kind of exciting.
It was actually, this was a stressful competition, this one.
It really was, especially once it got down to the very end.
It was long too. This took, I think we were recording for...
It's just under 2 hours, I think. in total.
Just under, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of it, we're both sweating.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever been that. My heart has ever beaten that fast while coding.
So it looks like now I've gotten the top bar fully finished, and I've joined you on the left navigation. You're obviously quite a bit ahead on that, but
Yeah.
I'm coming.
I definitely had like some troubles with spacing, and I was like trying to get it right on point, but it was
Changing the music.
yeah. Listening to some good old The Strike. Yeah, another thing is that we decided to not do the full length video on this one, and so we just kind of hung out and listened to music, chatted it up.
It's a nice change.
Yeah.
I think moving forward with the videos, we're going to continue just releasing the short versions. Let us know in the comments if you want us to bring back the long versions. We certainly can. We just figured for the time being, we'll just keep it with the short versions unless there's a demand for it. Did you find with those menu items that you had difficulty with the spacing? Did you do padding and margin on the top and bottom, or just padding?
I definitely did both.
Yeah.
Because of just the way that the background was. Like, you could tell in the mock-up that whole section didn't really like fill up that whole space.
Like the blue bar
Yeah.
wasn't the full
Yeah.
height wouldn't take up to the next blue bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought the same. I think I added some. I don't think I have yet, but I think at some point soon I add some margin on the top and bottom.
So yeah, I've kind of moved on to the top bar. I'm noticing now though that I haven't finished that sidebar yet. There's like that one, the ad group right at the bottom there that I hadn't thrown in yet, and the night mode. Actually, you're right there, adding in the night mode or the dark mode. Did you write night mode? You did. Write.
Did I write? Close enough.
Yeah. Same effect, I guess.
It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think. Oh no, that's the mock-up. I thought you had the ad group. I think you're just doing some contemplating there.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm looking up here.
I think we both moved into the main actually body section, and you still have not done the ad group.
I have not. I think it was like right near the end when I realized that I'd kind of finish everything else, and then I was going back over it, and then I realized that this shadow.
Yeah, this is something that you had that was a little bit more. It was more difficult for you, but it was not nearly as bad for me, because in the dark mode you can't really see the shadow very much. I did put a shadow in there, but it wasn't as difficult to get an accurate shadow as yours was.
Yeah, it's just less noticeable in the darker one. But yeah, in the light mode it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
When it was just like a little bit off. Oh, that's what I was looking up. It was the select. We were
struggling at this point to figure out what was it? How to put padding into a select, right?
Yeah, we were going to force the height and width.
Yeah, that's actually, it's been a long time since I've actually had to style a select from complete scratch. And I totally forgot you need to do, I think it was appearance none.
Yeah.
To allow you to add padding to it.
And we had to prefix it.
Yeah, that was weird.
So yeah, I think now we're both, this is when it really got tense and we were just really trying to pull it all together.
Yeah.
As you can see, like, I'm not even looking at what I'm doing. I'm just kind of filling in all this content and just hoping that I can get it all.
Yeah, I'm making one card nice.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm just gonna copy and paste and hope for the best on all of them, which I think you're taking the opposite approach. You're copying and pasting all of them and then styling the one.
Yeah, I made sure that my structure was pretty solid,
Yeah.
and then just because they're all the exact same thing, and it's as long as I have one kind of set up, I felt like it would be pretty easy to just kind of style it all at once.
I generally avoid doing that just because sometimes the markup changes and I don't want to have to go through 6 of them and change the markup. Like, I might as well get the one perfect and then copy them all over.
Yeah. But I guess, like, to be fair, I don't even remember the last time I have coded like a reusable component independently.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just not the way things are done anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Those status bars were fun. I think in the moment that's when we decided that we were gonna.
It was weird having to do something like that status bar without like components and props.
Yeah.
Like, actually having to give it a weird class and like hard code all these values rather than just pass in something.
It looks like I'm like getting very close to the end there.
Yeah. This is something that kind of bothered me in the mock-up that I'm not sure if was overlooked or like overlooked by the designer or if it was a conscious choice, but as you can see in the light version, those little circular images, they have a thick white border around them to look as if they're cut out into the background or on top of each other. And then on the dark version, it's still the white border rather than being the color of the background border to have that same effect. I thought that was just kind of an odd choice. Like, looking at it from this distance, it's really eye-catching.
Yeah.
Like, the hierarchy on it feels really high compared, like, from what it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, looks like I'm just putting on the final touches here, making my last little tweaks to my paddings and margins. And this is where I stop you.
And I'm still struggling with getting all the content in here, so it looks like for the first time you are the winner of Developer Shootout.
Yes! I'm not awful.
Not at all.
So yeah, thanks guys for checking out another episode of Developer Shootout.
As always, if you want to see the original Dribble mockup, that'll be in the description, as well as a link to both of our GitHub repos for this project.
Alright, see you guys next time.